So firstly, many congratulations. 5 decades, a journey that's been decorated with honors. It has had its fair share of struggle. How would you describe your journey?
Well, it was interesting. It was, I mean, has had its ups and downs, but ultimately what matters is the grand total. So I think life has been kind to me. I have seen my share of hurts and bruises, but who doesn't? But ultimately, I think I am in profit.
Absolutely, sir. Also, from Gwalior to Mumbai, when you came as a 19-year-old, sir, what do you remember most about that period of time?
No, I was only born in Gwalior. I have never lived there. Perhaps I was few months old when my parents left the city. I have, before coming to Bombay, when I was 19, I came to Bombay, but before that, my life was very equally divided in 3 cities, Lucknow, and then Aligarh, and then Bhopal. I did my schooling in Lucknow and Aligarh, and did my college in Bhopal, and after my graduation, I came to Bombay. So my memories are of Lucknow. I think those were my formative days because I left Lucknow when I was 11 or 12. Then till the age of 15, I was in Aligarh school. I never went to Aligarh Muslim University. I was in school there, and then came to Bhopal to do my graduation. So these, I think all these 3 cities and the culture of these cities has influenced me a lot. And so when I came to Bombay, I came with a certain culture, a certain language, certain literary background and so on.
So as you said, literary background, sir, I mean, you come from a family of letters, sir. How did your father influence you, sir? His writing, his poetry, I mean, being born in a family like that, a treasure trove of verses, poetry and romanticism.
Yeah, I was born in a family where there was literature all around. My father was a poet, so was my mother, she was a writer. My maternal uncle, I lived for quite some time in Lucknow, as I told you, in my maternal grandfather's house, where my maternal uncle Majaz, who was an extremely popular and respected poet, was there. And so poetry was all around. By the time I was perhaps 11 or 12, I remembered hundreds of couplets. By the time I was 15 or 16, thousands of couplets. Even today, I think I can, for hours, I can narrate other people's poetry to you that I remember by heart. I was brought up in houses where there was a lot of literature, people used to read, discuss. So obviously, through some process of osmosis, it comes into you, even when you're ostensibly more interested in cricket or something else, it goes into you. So, you know, if you want to be a writer, or if you want to be even a songwriter or a film script writer, it is generally believed that since I want to be a songwriter or I want to be a script writer, so if I have seen films, that is enough, or if I have heard film songs, that is enough. But it's not true. You can't be a good playback singer without knowing classical music, without having some understanding of serious, real music. And that gives you craft, that gives you prowess to sing a light song very easily. So I think even to be a good script writer or to be a competent lyric writer, it is necessary that you should be exposed to all kind of poetry and literature.
So, and also the film industry, writing for movies, sir, because Kafi Saab's time, Janisar Saab's time, they wrote, I mean, basically poetry to inspire people. So films just happened. But was it a conscious decision at your end to make it into the movies and not just?
No, I was in film industry since 1970, and I started writing poetry somewhere in perhaps early 80s or late 70s. I was there as a script writer. And when I started writing poetry, I was more of a closet poet because I never got it published. I never went to any public podium. There were very few people who knew about it, and one of them was Mr. Yash Chopra, because I had worked with him as a scriptwriter in quite a few films. So this was his bright idea, and one day he came and he said that I want you to write lyrics for me. And I think any writer would give his right arm, would have given his right arm to write for Mr. Yash Chopra, but I refused. I said, no, I'm not writing poetry to become a songwriter. This is my personal expression. I am a professional scriptwriter. That is good enough. But he insisted, and he pursued me. He did not let me get out and made me write songs for Silsila. But once, I must accept that once I wrote those songs, I thoroughly enjoyed the process, and I got into it. So thanks to Mr. Yash Chopra's insistence that I'm a lyric writer.
So before we come to lyrics, during script writing, I know you don't like to talk about that angry young man. It's been, I mean, that whole phrase has been used to that. But writing scripts, when you were writing for movies, I mean, what was it? Was it your inner turmoil, angst of struggle that came out through the, because if you see, it's the young man in the city.
Now, such things don't happen on a very conscious level. And people can wax eloquent in retrospect, but the fact is that most of my work is in partnership with Salim Saab. We are two people. And when we were writing, say, Zanjeer or Diwar or Trishul or Shakti or all these films, I mean, we were blissfully unaware that this is the representation of or personification of contemporary discontent and anger, and this is the manifestation of changing socio-economic situations in the society. We had no idea. We were writing because we thought these are interesting scripts. We thought that this is an interesting character. And as a matter of fact, perhaps there's some kind of a naivety was also there, that we were so sure of ourselves. Perhaps you have to be slightly naive also to be so sure of yourself that we were, that no, this is right, this is good enough, and this is the right thing to happen. Somehow we were, I think, fortunately, somewhere we were in sync with the contemporary society and people. I'm happy that we were not aware that it has any social relevance, because if we would have been aware of the social relevance of these stories, that would have meant that we are looking at it from outside. We were the part of that very society. We were breathing the same air, and we were thinking the way most of the people were thinking, unaware that most of the people are thinking like that. It's good. Otherwise, we would have become very conscious.
Also, underlying conflict, father and son, or with authority, that's an underlying theme that continues in your writing with Salim Saab.
Give me an example,
no,
like Trishul, beside Trishul or Shakti.
Shakti, that underlying conflict. Zanjeer, again, it's man against odds with society.
No, but that is, there is no father-son conflict in Zanjeer. In these two films, one is Trishul, another is Shakti. But then there is another thing which is recurring in our scripts, is a very powerful mother image. Yes, but I think again we belong to a society. Now you don't see mothers in films, and even if you see mothers, they are very cool mothers.
Very true.
They are not beta चाय तो पीता जा, ऐसी नहीं है, कुछ तो खा ले.
जी जी जी.
तेरे लिए मैंने लड्डू बनाए. Mothers have stopped making laddus. So these mothers are very cool mothers, and they have a kind of a friendly relationship with their children, whether the daughter or the son. So things have changed. But that was the time where mother was on a pedestal in the society and in the films. Perhaps that family was still very, very important. The more your society gets industrialized, people turn into individuals. They stop thinking in terms of groups.